So
Bada
apparently
boom,
there's
yeah.
weather out. There's weather outside. I saw that the roads were treated, and I didn't know that. I didn't know we were supposed to get any type of precipitation today.
That was
I
quite
wish,
the, what the hell just happened right there?
So I shared my. So the thing that I don't like is like when you share your screen, it puts it directly
Yeah.
into the chat. That's a weird. So if you're listening to us StreamYard, that's weird. Allow us
Also,
to just put it in the green screen or the green screen.
the green room, back in the green room where all
I've
the
had
guests
I've
hang
had
out.
2 sips of beer tonight, and I can't handle myself anymore.
You're already fucked. Pretty cool thing for tonight, though. We got 2 big things here.
What do we got?
We're live on YouTube, so we're gonna have all of our shows live on YouTube, and then we'll have a playlist there, so you guys can go back. And it's more so for I know with YouTube, it's easier to stream if you want to watch it on TV instead of casting it or mirroring, all depending on TVs.
And it's better on your phone. We talked about this.
Yeah.
The app now allows you to like flip it as like a screen or whatever. So yeah.
So go give us a follow over there. You're going to be absolutely shocked at what the URL is. Bring It Pod. Actually, no, it's not. It's Bring It. What is it? Bring It Podcast? Holy shit! Actually, I think it is Bring It Pod. Let's check that out. I should have figured that out before. At Bring It Podcast. So that's the only thing you actually have to type out the whole podcast for. But yeah, we're live over there. And just, we were talking about it. We think it'd be something a little nicer for like you said, the ease of use, which that's all what we're here for, to give you the ease of use. And then another nice little thing here. I'm sure we'll touch on this a couple times. We got a voicemail. We got to Bring It hotline voicemail now, boys. I don't know if this is good or bad.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested to see. I'm hoping that maybe the listeners will use it. I
hope
feel like
so.
I feel like the last time when we did like the
it's still there. The Google form on the website.
The Google form. Yeah, we did that. We did email. Like, I don't know if anyone emailed us ever.
Right.
But yeah, and they were like, yeah, questions. So I'm hoping that maybe we'll get a voicemail. Although I do have to say, can we confirm that it receives text messages?
Yeah, if you want to text that number right now, I'll tell you, because it's going right to my phone. It looks like,
let's be honest, text messaging is way easier than
anything. All right, you know
voicemail.
what?
Who leaves a voicemail?
J-Ro does it. He leaves his name and number. We talked about before we jumped on.
But yeah, so we're gonna give this a shot, and that was it. Kind of going back on the ease of use, I guess, and we've talked about it a couple times of how do we get call in, people to call in, we've thought about it, but realistically you need somebody in the background watching and fielding the calls. So Coco just got a new text from, that's nice. That's very nice. F off. My goodness.
Wow. Just making sure it works. You also picked, is that a Connecticut number that you gave yourself?
That is, because New Hampshire is not allowed, and I'm not going to Vermont.
Okay.
I will tell you, if you do text us and you want to leave your name or have a response, send your name with it, because it just comes through as your number. But yeah, so, and me being the Connecticut boy, that's why I chose 860, the old Connecticut number. But yeah, so it's, just trying a couple new things here, like we've been saying. And really, it's just trial and error.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what else we find on that text line.
I'm sure HUD's going to have some fun with it.
Yeah, HUD, send your memes directly to us. Your little clips.
See, look at this. We already got somebody, we got people on YouTube right now, which is it's great to see. So, but yeah, no. So, like we said, we're changing some things up. Not everything's going to be drastic and noticeable. Sometimes it's just going to be these little things, new place to give you an idea to watch us, or a better way to get in touch with us. So we'll have some fun with this. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Speaking of playing out, I got to do this. We got to get into this before the show gets off the rails, or maybe we'll start off the rails and our guest joins us here shortly. Do you guys see the Trout video?
Mike Trout or a fish?
A fish.
No,
There's a
trout
trout
video?
video. I think the woman's from Australia. They were out fishing. We'll get into that one later in the show. We
Wait,
don't
we
want to
can-
scare everybody off right now.
We can probably watch this trout video, right? You can watch YouTube videos on here.
It's not
I think
on
we can do whatever we
YouTube.
want.
Yeah, it's. Are you sure though? Because I think what are these reaction videos? It's just people watching videos. right?
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
There's reaction. I
Oh,
saw,
we'll make it a reaction video. I,
I
think is the
saw it.
point.
I saw it at indoor this weekend or playing golf on Saturday, and it was great.
Oh.
So anyway, maybe we'll end the show with the trout, talking about the trout
Jesus.
video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 108 of Bring It. We're up for a big night. As you see, we got some changes in the play here. We're heading ourselves out to Michigan, and we're going to have ourselves a fun time with our new guest joining us that we only met, oh man, maybe a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago now during the Challenge Cup. It was in the streams and having some fun, and what a better time to come on and in the beautiful month of February where softball is hot. So let's get her going. D Money, what's happening? What you drinking?
Softball is not hot in February.
Nothing's hot in February.
No, I mean it was pretty cold this past weekend,
It was
but there was talks
Gross.
of playing in an outdoor tournament in Connecticut this coming weekend. So we're all over
Where?
the place.
Where, like down near the Plex, Norwalk?
I don't even remember, to be honest with you. I'd have to check
Jeez.
a message, but yeah. So it's like it's all over the place. But tonight I have a 4 Quarters Brewing waffle stars.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an imperial stout brewed with lactose and maple syrup, conditioned on coffee beans and toasted waffles. And now I want to ask, what the fuck does conditioned? Can people tell when a beer is conditioned on things?
It's
I
just
always
a
see it
fancier
like-
word for aging.
Yeah,
Right?
bottle conditioned, but yours is in a can.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah. This is a conditioned canned.
Here's a question of this: Why are you toasting the waffles before you put them
To-
into liquid?
I would know. I think that's going to bring out a little bit of the flavor. I want
Yeah.
my waffle.
Either way, it's a
Yeah, I
boozy
think it's real.
stout.
What's the percentage on it? For
It's
you?
9. It's 9,
Oh,
but
right.
it tastes like a hard 9.
We're hard 9, huh, D?
He's at 3
A
sips.
hard 9,
folks.
huh?
Tastes like a hard 9.
Tastes like a hard 9.
I'd have to ask Amanda 3 times if she knows what a hard 9 is.
Oh, here we are.
Speaking of a hard 9, the handsome one of the podcast, Coco, what's up?
that means we are an ugly fucking bunch.
We're fucking pitiful.
Nothing. You foolishly asked me to find something on a website like right before we started.
Yeah.
So of course I deep dove into that, and I'm surprised I even found the microphone again. But I have a Citra hops.
Okay.
That's what I have today. I didn't know, we were having real beer again, but
Oh,
this is what I got.
don't worry. I'm sitting here with a bottle of Poland Springs and then a backup of more tap water. So
Perfect.
we're in beautiful shape here. Yeah, it's whatever. I'm on the incline. I go to the gym every day now. I've been going to the gym every weekday morning. I get on the treadmill. I watch Breaking Bad, and I'm on the incline. And I gotta tell you, I'm starting to feel it. I'm feeling good.
Good.
I feel like the underhing's tightening up.
Have you watched Breaking Bad before?
So this is a show I have been watching since I was on the road with San Jose. So like I started the show back in like 2014, and I'm just at the point now where Eisenberg gets rid of Mike, and he's, I don't know, it's the end of an episode. So
Whoa,
the Arizona
spoiler.
people.
Spoiler
alert.
Come on, it's 10 years ago, right? Slow and steady wins the race. Aren't you worried
guys
about-
you guys are spoiling alert an episode that played 2 nights ago. I'm 20 years ago.
Aren't you a little worried about ruining it for the people at the gym that are trying to keep up? Like they're trying to watch it live on AMC
Oh.
Plus.
There's someone that always goes on the treadmill next to him. At that time, they're like, what
Yeah.
episode are we
They
watching
can't afford
today?
cable.
It's
Hey, can you unplug your headphones and just let it play?
it's great because like I go in there, I'm in there at 8 in the morning. It's like, yeah, it's 7:45 to 8:15 is when I go, and it is just me and what I'm gonna look like in 3 years. Like I've got like all the senior citizens with me on the treadmill doing the walk, and they're all talking. I'm getting in conversations when I'm setting up. It's great. It's a beautiful morning.
You can randomly talk to people. I don't believe it.
I know it's shocking,
No.
isn't it? Absolutely shocking. But no, we're gonna have this is it's been interesting. I'm already looking forward to my new show. It's gonna be, at this pace, I'll probably finish Breaking Bad by 2040.
Yep.
But I want to watch that Bullies of Baltimore.
I don't know about it.
It's the Ravens documentary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like the Ravens of 2013.
Yeah, back when
Okay.
they were murdering people and
Ray Lewis,
yeah,
the white
literally
white
on and off the
jacket.
field
Yeah.
and all that shit. So, well, it looks like our guest just showed up, and here he comes. He's getting his. He's. You wait till you see this one. He's got his camera all set up. It's Stuffed Pepper.
How's it going, man?
What's up? What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Wait, were you just dropping into Almazar?
No.
So we got joining us. We have Elijah Peppers, all the way from Michigan. What part of Michigan you're in? You're right around the Detroit area, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm probably I'd say about 20 minutes from Detroit at least.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys got that shit cold that we just had too this past weekend.
I didn't want to talk about it.
But do you have an outdoor tournament coming up this weekend somewhere close? 'Cause
No.
whew, there were talks of having one outdoors this weekend, which was like insane to think about after last weekend.
Friday's looking like 50, and then it drops down to the low 30s again the next day.
Cool.
Yeah, you can catch me inside.
Do you guys play the outdoor like snowball tournaments?
Sometimes we do. It depends on it depends for me personally. It depends on how I feel. If like my group of friends usually go out, they go, "Hey, come." I'm like, "All right, why not?"
Right.
I've never played in one of those. I'm so out on that.
It is so much fun. My funny
my-
story last year, my buddy Weird Arm. Shout out to you, Weird Arm. He takes his shirt off, goes to bat, hits the ball, slides to first, head first, and goes, "Fuck COVID, we catching pneumonia."
I mean, a lot of people talk about those types of tournaments, and it just you're out there, and sometimes 2 feet of snow, the ball is hit, and then you have to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to find it in the snow. Like, man, I don't know.
Well, let's not forget we made pretty much our debut, the Bring It podcast, out
Was
like
a-
at a
it's
tournament.
true,
We went
we
to a
did.
snow
God.
tournament. God, it was fucking windy. We were getting winter hats from people. I was wearing a snowsuit. We didn't even play. It was so fucking cold.
we have a hard. I mean, shit. All three of us, we have a hard enough time to.
You're talking about this right here, huh?
That's it. Look at that.
That's why look at that. Look at the banner.
Look how young we look and in shape. Some
I
of
still
us.
look. I look a little special. Can't open my eyes.
We were just screaming into one microphone, much like we
Bringing
do
guests
now.
that just happened to look at us. Hey, you want on? Come on.
Hey, come on.
That
Hey,
was a good time.
So Elijah, I guess my big question really is, and that's the beauty of, I guess, social media these days is word travels quickly. But when I was doing, we started getting this Michigan, contingency showing up here. I think it was the Connecticut Michigan game because, oh shit,
Yeah.
Cotton at first. Who the hell was liking it out there that kind of drew the crowd in from Michigan?
Somebody I think shared your guys' podcast, and I started watching it, and I was like, "These guys are funny."
All right. Well,
This guy,
you must smoke a
J-Ro
lot.
is funny. J-Ro is like an absolute beast when it comes to covering games and getting hammered while doing so.
Saturday I got in one, and that's because your girlfriend played on she was on the majors team, correct?
No, she was on
No,
the
D team. Sorry, like I
Yes.
said, I was in one on Saturday. I don't remember. There's a lot of games
He's
going on.
on too.
But it was but no, so when I started seeing some of you guys show up, I'm just doing the normal thing, and I was shocked. And we know Flip and Rippy and the boys over at Off the Bench and the show they do. So it was interesting. And Flip and I have been talking. We're gonna get something once once things kind of calm down at home for him. We're gonna do a live episode here and have some fun and giving all the
that's
best
gonna be
to
fun.
Flip's family. But yeah, no, it was great. It's always fun when I get new people like you showing up and new people, and there's a lot of interaction. But here's the real first question now that we're on the winter. How much winter ball are you guys playing out there? Do you guys have the domes? Are you guys doing real tournaments out there, like in the domes, like Wisconsin? And what's that looking like for you guys?
So wintertime for us all season. We do have dome tournaments, but it's just like a casual, like Fridays at one place is co-ed, Saturdays is men's. If you win, you get a T-shirt, basically. So it's really
Are they overnight or are they during the day?
overnight. It's
See?
that's what sucks about it. That's what sucks about it. It's the soccer kids. They take over all day, and then we got the.
I was gonna say it's definitely because kids are playing there during the day, and that is good. But
Yes.
yeah, those tournaments, those are another thing. Outdoor winter tournaments and overnighters. I'm just like, no.
I think the worst winter tournament I ever played at was it Tennessee? Yeah, Tennessee. It was ice all over the field. It was hailing, snowing, and raining in an hour span.
That sounds like a good time for a Bud Light or 7 right there.
Sounds like Sunday at the Mojo.
Yeah.
Jesus
Man,
Christ.
it was horrible. It was so horrible. Like I was like, my dad was pitching, a ball went by me. He was like, "Why'd you die for it?" And I was like, "Because I was gonna end up in center field." I'm not. No.
I got a lot of momentum behind this ass when I'm diving. Now, with the fields out there, and this is kind of what I like learning too, is talking about what other states look like, what other fields are. What are the complexes like out there? How are they in your area?
We have okay. To be honest, it's probably only like maybe 2-3 good fields we have, maybe.
Okay.
Only because like we basically play at the same fields. Well, I know the year before, our director last year, Jimmy Z. Shout out to Jimmy Z, director of the year. He expanded. He went out farther. Flat Rock. We was at Dearborn a lot. Dearborn fields aren't the greatest, but like it's something we have.
Great Marriott properties in Dearborn.
Now, there is a large complex somewhere in Michigan. Obviously, I don't understand how big Michigan is or isn't because that's where the E North used to be. I'm sure
I believe
it looks
so,
like
yes.
2 mittens.
There's the upper mitten and lower mitten. You're a fucking
Right, 2
teacher.
mittens.
How do you not know this?
Because we live in New Hampshire where it's 300 miles to the north and I don't travel more than 25 of them.
Jesus.
I know it's a mitten.
We're not talking about fucking Kansas here. Like it's
Why-
Michigan.
What do I
it's
need
right
to know
there.
other than Detroit? And I watched the movie 8 Mile. That's all I know about that too. I don't walk that way, but that's all I know about Michigan. I don't need to know more than that. I went to the airport once.
So you're just throwing out that. Now I heard there was a complex in Michigan,
And I don't know
Tell me
where.
about that.
I don't. Yeah, and there has to be a nice complex. You'd hope it hosted Worlds.
I can say it was GSL Worlds. It was I think was it Battle Creek? Yeah, Battle Creek. Them fields actually I like those fields. Flat Rock got some really nice fields.
Are they
Trying to think of
predominantly turf or are they more dirt?
Dirt. We are right now. Michigan does not have a turf field that I know of, but
Really?
I think somebody is working on getting us a turf field sometime soon.
Okay. So, so all of the tournaments, most of the tournaments you're playing, they're either right in your backyard over on that southeastern part of the state, or you're more on the western side, but mainly south of Grand Rapids, Lansing, Detroit, right along that 96 line.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Tell you what, if there'd be a big tournament up in Traverse City, I'll get my ass up there real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what's the big tournament to play in your area? Like, if you had to tell one team or a team that's coming in from out of state, what's the one tournament that you would recommend?
That's tough. That's tough because we don't really have like a major. Well, I say the majors, like when majors come in town, we have that. Oh, I forgot about Canton's Fields. Yeah, Canton, Michigan. They have pretty good complex too. They got I think it's 12 fields. It's a pretty good complex.
That's a good tournament there.
Yeah. Shoot, I can't even think about the really decent tournament. Probably just Worlds.
Really? Yeah. So because I know around here, we got a big tournament out in down in Connecticut. That's 3 states.
Oh, I'm lying. Frankenmuth. I'm sorry, Frankenmuth. Yes, the Frankenmuth tournament, and it's one more.
Yeah,
oh my god, I can't
in the chat. They're saying that the Muth is a festival.
Yes, Muth Major. Yep, the Muth Major. Yep.
Ooh, it's a festival. So it sounds like the PIF.
Yes.
PIF is a festival.
Get into the PIF.
Yeah, you want me to talk about
it, Dustin. Yeah, explain what the PIF is.
I was like, who are you telling to get into the tournament? Is he? The PIF is it's so incredible as far as softball goes. There's 3,000 people just watching, local town people just watching your games on either Friday or Saturday night. And it's crazy. You just don't. And there's a few tents, or not even tents, but J-Ro, there's a couple blow up games for kids. And then they just do
bouncy house.
Yeah, there's bouncy houses and stuff like that. And then they have two things of two restaurant areas. And then it's just the entire town comes and watches softball. It's crazy. They do fireworks Friday and Saturday. It's just nuts because you just don't expect that as a softball player. I feel you expect your drunk buddies to be hanging around watching you play, maybe 10 people, but having that crowd around, it was wild. And that's J-Ro, we're lucky. We get a lot of good tournaments in our area. That's only 3 hours away from me.
It's 3 hours from here. You're right. Think about it. And the other thing, Stuff Pepper, we've got, the Firecracker, the Easton Firecracker, which is 120-ish, 100 teams, give or take, tournament down in Connecticut. It's basically takes up the whole state for a weekend. The Bloley Open's awesome, that's an open. It's only 12 teams, but that's a great tournament. But I would say somebody travel for that. But we're lucky where we have we can get to a couple of regions pretty easy and get some of those great tournaments. I remember now seeing this Frankenmuth. I remember somebody on the broadcast that brought it up, and I'll tell you what, there's nothing fucking out there. What? There's got to be is there 3 bars in this town? What's going on?
It's a pretty small town, but that tournament draws so many teams. It's just so much fun. I've never played in it, but I've heard so many stories about people playing in it. I've wanted to play in it, but I think every time it comes around, I have a Worlds or I'm going out of town to do BSC.
So let's dive into that, because I've heard BSC is just batshit awesome.
Man, BSC is, when I say the first time I walked on, started playing softball, my first tournament was a BSC tournament. I was 20 years old, and first ever game, first ever at bat, hit a ball probably 450, and I was just like, yeah. oh my god, my heart's racing. What the fuck? Oh god. So it's a different vibe. Just like everybody's just out on the field, just like they talking shit to you, you talking shit back. But at the end of the day, you're gonna dap everybody up. Be like, that's love because like they ballers, y'all all competitive. It's all fun games at the end of the day.
That's I've now heard that exact same thing. I've asked a couple people about the BSC and wanting to get down to a tournament, and that is literally the one thing I hear no matter what. It's like, oh, there's on the field, it's just shit talking nonstop. You get off the field, you go to back of the truck, some guy's got this big ass barbecue just going, and everybody's just already having a blast.
I say one, if you're gonna ever go to a BSC tournament, go to any Worlds in Georgia. I promise you'll have the best food. You'll see the best games of your life. You'll see the most amazing players play from around the South and just around the country, just playing down there for BSC.
Oh, definitely. I'm always down for traveling and getting the hell out of here. So I like to eat, I like to drink, and why not? So we're getting some more stuff about the Muth Major coming in here too. Like this festival downtown. I know I'm kind of jumping all over here, but that downtown sounds amazing. Having a festival through it, like we got to figure out when that is because I don't know. Road trip doesn't sound bad again.
Hey, then you got to link up with your boy. That's what that means.
I'm always for that. Listen, the only thing that keeps me going here is drinking with people at these damn tournaments. It's tell you what, being live is a little different than when standing in the Bring It studio calling these games. So now here's a question for you guys, and here's for you and maybe the region. We've been talking a lot about we're missing a state in our region. It's the first weekend of June is the Muth Major. We're missing a state in our region. We've got a pretty good sense of what the schedule's looking like. People are putting out, I've already got my schedule except for, New Hampshire. I don't know how much we'll play here because we're pretty built out, but and I was taking a look, but it looks like you guys, Rippy's put out 2 tournaments. I know he talked about it last week on Off the Bench. And then, but Ohio doesn't have anything out. I didn't look at Indiana. Or when do your tournament schedules out in the Midwest? Or, I'm putting you guys in the Midwest, Great Lakes, in the Great Lakes region. When's that start coming out?
Usually most of our our schedules come out either I say beginning of Jan. As soon as like New Year starts, then that's when the schedules come out. Mostly, that's from what I've seen the past couple of years of playing, and it's pretty
okay. And it was just something I had noticed because I wanted to take a look to see what what the schedules look like out there, and that's why we were asking about what tournaments were big ones out there, and just kind of try to take a peek. But I know Indiana's got theirs out. And when do you guys really get going? Is it the first week of April? Same like us?
Probably. I know my team. I'm playing U-Trip with an Ohio team called Steve's BP. Shout out to Steve BP, all them guys. We are our first tournament. They told me March 4th, I believe. But after that, I believe it's Mojo.
Bring the mittens.
I'm really not. I really hope it's not like it was last year. If it was, I'm getting out the car, look around, like, nah, I'm going back home.
And Coco, when we say bring the mittens, we're not talking about bringing the state with them.
I thought that's why he was on an Ohio team. He brings the mittens for that team. I got it, dick.
He puts the mittens on his bag.
Right, keeps
so everyone knows where he's from.
I watch Major League. That's keep the bat warm.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it for sure.
So, so Steve's BP, you're based out of Ohio. Now, how many teams are typically like you in the D ball? I mean, that's where a lot of teams are. You guys have a pretty healthy D classification, DE ball out in Michigan and Ohio. I know in Ohio it's pretty strong. How about in Michigan?
Michigan.
For U-Trip, that is. I know One Nation. Trust me, we've seen those fuckers show up.
I know, yeah. One Nation, we have a fucking talent that's just crazy for One Nation. U Trip as well. I don't know much about many U Trip teams this year. I know a couple that a couple of my homies are on, but the teams that I've seen from that's going into this year, they're gonna make some noise this year.
Now, you guys, I hope, and this is why I like having met some people and having, you know, some of the Michigan people come into the streams, because if we're sitting here one day and we see a live stream, we grab that shit. We don't care. If we're on a roll and we need a game, we'll grab it.
Anywhere I'm at and I'm traveling, I got a tournament, I will always be live.
Love it.
I might be live next month for BSC. I'll be back in down in Georgia again.
Really? Okay. We'll keep
J Rose
Yeah.
asking for that date.
Yeah.
He might also be down in Georgia.
Hey man, as long as you don't mind being a big spoon.
Look at you, Jesus Christ, Stuff Pepper.
Where do you think he gets the name Stuffed Pepper?
Dude, we're the fucking two of us. I don't know if there's a spoon. I don't know. We won't fit in a fucking
Oh my!
silverware drawer, for Christ's sake.
You're the whole thing of cutlery.
Oh Christ. I'm always down. Coco, were you gonna ask something there before?
No,
we got
I just
into a
when you
little
was talking.
sexual talk?
That got me all hot and bothered. No, when you were talking about how Michigan does, when we used to go to Worlds, I feel like there would be a Michigan team that would always kind of be rounding up the top 5, fighting in that spot. So it seems like they always have some pretty good ball in that ED division anyway. So I'm not surprised that there's still some good talent coming out of there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel like there's always a Michigan team in the mix. There's a lot of good ball.
Michigan, we got a bunch of scrappy, hard-headed, just don't give up fight mentality.
I saw, was it Rosano Power Sports last year when we were at Worlds, Coco?
Name sounds familiar from out there.
I know they had done
Rosano,
pretty well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Boy, Billy, Uncle Billy. Love me some Billy Johnston.
We're gonna have a segment where Stuff Pepper just throws in, and he's gonna be a hype man. It's the shout out hype man hour. I love it. Like, just
hey,
give
look,
it to me.
I can hype. Let me get a list. Hold on. But shut up, my mom, my dad, the guy Larry from down the street.
Well, I guess here's the last part. You know, we did start as a league podcast. Jesus Christ, long ago. How's the league ball out there? Are there a lot of leagues in you know, your neck of the woods? Do you guys have to travel far to find a good league? How's that work out?
To be honest, it's a league in damn near every city here. So I'm based right now. I live in Garden City, as a field literally down the street, walking distance. I play there every Thursday. We run that league. My team run that league. No, I'm just playing. No, actually that league is probably one of the most fun leagues I've probably played in. There's a lot of competition out there. I did play in this on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays up at Total Sports in Harrison Township. They got 4 fields, 2 open fields, 2 with fences, and then they got a bar in the middle, and they got everything inside that little bar. They got bowling, they got a basketball court, they got axe throwing, they got a little volleyball court and all that stuff in there. That league is probably top 3 for me in most fun.
Yeah, I fucking wonder why there's a goddamn fucking adult arcade between all 4 of the fields. Where's this field? I'm in.
I don't think I would play in a single regular game. I'd be throwing axes out the fucking wazoo.
I completely miss my game. Every time you'd just be like throwing axes. You're like, we played? Oh,
honey, I joined a league every night. I think it's just healthy for me to be out there with some friends.
Fuck, if I showed up and play and I ended up on the no fence field, I'd say, fuck this, I'm out. Like, I'll be right here. You can find me. I'll be in the 8th frame, and you can join me.
Well, no, it's crazy. I played the outfield in the open field.
Yeah, cute. Was it a 5-man outfield?
That's a 4-man. It's usually co-ed, and co-ed sometimes men's, but mainly co-ed. And I'm out there. I just say I'll go out there just to I do my cardio for the day, and that's it. I do like one full sprint, and then I'll be like, all right, I'm jogging.
All right, I'm going bowling. See ya.
I love that. No, that's so. And then with One Nation, you play. What classification is your team? Is it a D team or is it a C team?
D team. Yeah, D team.
Okay. What's your team name at Mojo?
Steve's BP. We're gonna be playing. We're gonna be playing a little bit of both, and it's gonna be fun. Me and my homie Aladdin.
What?
Aladdin. Yes, I have my best friend. He looks like Aladdin. I swear to God. I swear to God.
He just wants to be Little Spoon after that.
It fits. I mean, it fits. But like, now, does he have a carpet draped or with his bat bag coming into the field?
So I've told him multiple times, like, hey, like one time just for shits and giggles, just like at a tournament, just roll out a carpet when you go out to hit, and then just take a swing, and then just sit down and act like you're riding it. I told him I'll pay him to do it. And he said he did dress up for Halloween. He said he dressed up for Halloween one time as Aladdin.
Fuck, Dean Kahn.
Yep.
Yep. Fucking Aladdin. All right. Well, listen, I gotta tell you, when I see you at the Mojo, Dean, guess what? Aladdin, you're gonna be getting a fucking cute little Oriental rug that's going into your bat bag, so you can fucking be riding that shit around the bases.
Oh man.
Well, that's great. Well, listen, I look forward to meeting you down at the oh Jesus Christ, I love it. Dressed up as Aladdin at the Mojo. Sorry about that little comment coming in. But no, when we get down to Mojo in Columbus here in 2 months? No, 6 weeks.
Month.
A month.
Yeah.
Tony, we're getting ready, baby.
Gotta put that in the calendar, J-Ro.
But yeah, so when we'll get a chance, we'll catch up when we're down there, and look forward to meeting you there. But Stuffed Peppers, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad you jumped on our broadcast, and even now we get you on the podcast, and it's been fun.
Always, man. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Much love. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, keep up the good work, y'all. I love this podcast. It's fun.
Thanks so much.
We'll have some fun, and when we get the off the bench guys and we do a big collab episode, we'll just bring we'll give Coco a little bit of geography lessons before, so he knows what's in between fucking Michigan and New England.
Yeah,
I know the things that are there. We can walk through them. I'll give you capitals if you want. We'll talk about it off the air.
All right, Stuff Peppers. We'll talk to you. Thanks, Elijah.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks. See you. Oh, fuck. That was great. Why am I not surprised? That's how he came in with when I was doing those broadcasts with how he was in the comments. That's perfect.
It's nice to have different people on, you know what I mean, with just different areas, see where everyone's coming from. Get it. It was nice, but
this Move Major sounds nice.
It does. Where I was going with that, because I forgot and then I remembered.
It's that one beer.
Yeah, seriously, it's like half. It's not even a full one. Like, do our guests ask you questions at all, J-Ro?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, do they ask you questions like what's going to happen? What are we going to talk about? Because we in the email we don't talk to any of our guests if we don't know them. I don't say a word to them until they're on the show.
So I
don't know if everyone knows what's coming. If you will.
I don't think we know what's coming.
Yeah.
No, I gave Elijah a little bit of a heads up.
So it's like, yeah. Okay.
I said, listen, I go, we're going to talk, Michigan softball. It's really just kind of, we want to get a little idea, different, maybe a little bit about yourself and the year to come. And kept it pretty fucking general. Like there was no questions.
Yeah. But I liked it. Like knowing the one tournament that your area has, I think that's like a good thing. Cause you see teams traveling here and there and doing this and that throughout the year. So like, I don't know if you want to change up your typical schedule, you go fly out and just have a trip weekend. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's an easy trip. I mean, really, it is. Like you fly into DTW and then you just, drive straight up. Probably, I mean, Saginaw, Flint, 45. It's probably about an hour and 15, hour and a half from Detroit Airport, maybe a little further, but it's an easy drive. And, when you can plan for it, when schedules are out, I know their schedule's still working on it, but when you can plan for it, why not do that instead of, I don't know. Yeah, going to Myrtle's nice. I'm not saying that's bad, but like going to Frankenmuth is going to be it's a cute little German town. You're going to be in the middle of a festival. Like it sounds like it's an experience weekend, like we've had at the PIF.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I mean, it sounds sweet.
that does sound like at this point, I've gone to Florida for Worlds a dozen times almost. Myrtle, I did. It does sound like one of those things like, why keep going to the same place to do the same term? Like, fuck it. I only have so many years left. Why not try those new things? Like going to Ocean City just once, just to try them out and see what that's like.
Yeah. And I think when you can get an experience where it's more than just a tournament, I guess, you think of, like you said, the PIF, that's a whole different ball game. That thing is unbelievable. But when you have somewhere you're going to a town and there's more than just the softball, what a great time. Like that's something to travel for and spend the money instead of just going to different vacation, I guess, with some softball in it. But that's cool.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
To circle back to something you started with, you said it's nice to have the people from different areas to see what goes on there, what it's like there. But one of the things I'm realizing is softball is still the same fucking community. Like we're all this, and it's great. Like it's Michigan. Yes, I understand it's Mittens. No, I don't know the geography too well of it, but it's still, he's within walking distance. And there's another one that he goes, and it just sounds like everyone's there and having a good time, and it's good to see. Like I think it just puts back into what we've talked about a lot. Like the softball community is pretty fucking cool most of the time.
Well, except for the boys from Ohio that didn't really like you for some reason.
Yeah. It's all right. Did I send you the picture that I drew an outline in the dirt? Because
so just for our new friends, we at Worlds we got into a little tiff. I don't know if it was a tiff, and Coco ended up getting closed hand slap across the face.
And I didn't say fucking shit.
Yeah.
I said nothing. Fuck you,
Coco caught a stray.
He sure did.
What the fuck?
Oh, that was fucking wild. A walk off win off of the shortstop going through his legs. And oh man, that was a wild way to start the day. But anyway, but you're right. Like softball, people are the people. Like we're all pretty much, it's all the same. Like it's just like, fuck it. Go have a good time and here's the other thing, Coco. If you're listening to us, you're probably not too uptight because I don't know, loose cannons is a good word, maybe.
That's a fair word.
Is it loose cannon though, or is it more
non-censored?
Yeah, we just there is a little loose cannon, but I feel like loose cannon is more explosive. We every once in a while, which J-Ro, I guess
I mean, I think
explosive at times.
We make up sex tables,
right? But that's not an explosive thing, right? We just
it is.
You don't know where you're going when you come to journey with us.
When I start to talk, when we start talking, it's just kind of, it's like you're trying to get out of the circle. But no, we have no idea. But no, it's always, always
fun. Was it that we were talking about?
Yeah. So anyway, trout videos. But no, and that's, so, but speaking of, traveling, I know I've had some teams reach out to me from really outside that northern New England region asking about our schedule for New Hampshire, because it does seem like, with some of the teams that we've become friendly with, they're interested in coming and playing in New Hampshire. Beast
of the East. Yeah, Beast of the East in New Hampshire. There's...
When is the women's tournament though? When's that one? Do you know?
I have no clue. I haven't looked at anything.
I think the women's.
No, it's not up there to look.
It was after. It was after, I think. And then the men's Beast of the East is almost always that first full weekend in June.
Yeah. But, I know some teams from New York have reached out to me about coming up here because I know, Girl Scout dropouts. They're going to, they're playing in Rhode Island. I think they're coming up to Massachusetts to play. So, some of these women's teams that we've become friendly with and other other teams in the area that they become friendly with as well. Like I know the below the Newcoat girls, thinking of the Hamels and Sam and what else am I thinking of? You know, some of them have played with the Girl Scout dropouts. I think, you know, Sav and V went down and played with them too. So I know they're looking to come up north and have some fun. So, you know, hopefully we can see what that looks like, just because I think it helps grow the game where we can get people up into this part of the region too. So speaking of it, D, reclass, anything from you yet?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
No. You got to remember, like I was thinking,
No, I know.
you're not, what is it? February 7th.
Yep.
So, I mean, they were still receiving emails
a week ago.
So they're, yeah.
No, I didn't know if you had heard.
No, nothing. I mean, I put mine in on January 1st, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not affecting
you got to expect
your
it's going to
season
be
this year.
Yeah.
So,
I don't care either way.
no.
Just,
I know there's been some people talking about that elite rule we have and people going through rule books and trying to find it and all that. They do the same thing in Michigan. I was listening to the off the bench guys last week. Riggy, I think he's either the state director or helps out. It's that they run the same thing where, you know, you're only allowed X amount, three elite players on a team. And, you know, so for everybody that's saying, well, it's a stupid rule, it's only around here. It's other regions, other states.
yeah. I mean, the one thing that does suck on the roster rule, if it's three elite and 3 chips of the next class up.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. The only thing that does suck is that if no one can see that, then it's, you know what I mean? You're adding to the whole roster rule type thing. And then if only the coaches get to see that, and the players, then it is it gets weird, right?
Well, and I understand the tag. I get it, you know, because there are certain players you don't want playing down, and I understand that. You want to bump people up. I don't know if 3 is that right number for elite on a team. And I'm not saying that for anything of any team in specifically. It's just more of, if you're only allowed 3, you know, bump ups and then 3 elites, is that the right number? Because then now some people could be looking for it, might be out of playing, you know, is 5 the right number? Or if you're just trying to keep people from playing down, should there be a limit? I guess what's that, you know, where is that?
Yeah. So I think the other thing though that I think of is like, and don't take this the wrong way, I have friends on this team, the Ville.
Mhm.
If the Ville played D last year, do you think that they would be better off than they were the year before?
With that,
Or do you think that there
mean?
would be teams that were better than them last year?
Oh, I don't think they would have been a
If they-
clear cut, like far and away better
Right.
than any D team. No.
Right.
Like you look at Reloaded, you look at Toro, Mass Wolverines, you know, there's some great teams in the area.
Right. So now you can't have that team go back to what it was 2 years ago.
Correct. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So
that
what?
keeps
Yeah.
it from
So
happening there.
right. So it's kind of like, I mean, that team wasn't like they did very well the year that they got bumped to C, but I don't think that they were like the best team in the area. Not even like there were a lot of good teams out of that year.
Especially towards the last portion of the year. The
Right.
last 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Right. And I think that a lot of their success might have come from guys who jumped on they would pick up C chips, you know what I mean? Kind of go here and there. It just sucks that that entire team can't be assembled this year to go back into D and try it out.
Right.
Because I feel like in the past you had that.
Mhm.
You got bumped up a class, you would play an entire year in that class, go to Worlds, and then you could get your entire team would just like drop back down to that level. I think that some teams that would be a nice option for them.
Is this going back to that One Nation rule that we've talked about?
I
Where
was
they
going to
get
bring that
bumped?
up too, but I do like that One Nation rule where the elites get bumped up.
Yeah.
But I think that, yeah, the elite thing is now prohibiting teams to move up, come back down.
Yeah, I think if D Elite is just supposed to be set up so that player can't play down, I don't think I see why you can't have 5, 6, 7 of them. As long as they're
Right.
not playing down into E, that was the purpose of getting the D Elite. Because I think you're right. Like, just using the Vil, a lot of those guys got bumped to C. They went up. They tried to play. Now they're D Elite or they were D Elite, right? And it's like, why can't they all play together? They're not picking up 5 or 6 of the guys that stayed C. It's not like they're trying to do that. They're trying to play with the guys who we've looked at. And when I say we, the committee has looked at and said that's a D player, but a good D player. So now are you saying that you can only have so many good D players? Which is kind of like, that's weird. It's a weird thing in my opinion.
Right. And it's almost not even like a classification, right? It's just or it is like, or it's an additional classification.
Right.
It's like you're an E player, you're a D player, which means you could still play E, and then you're like a D player that can't play. Well, you could play C, but like you're not playing C, but you're too good to play E, but you're still a D. It's just it is weird.
And I don't hate the tag. I just think that kind of needs to get tweaked a little bit, just because I do think it's going to prohibit some people from being able to play, and not play with your friends. But I mean, listen, there's teams you want to play with, there's teams you don't mind playing with, and then there's teams you don't want to play with, and you don't want to end up on a team you don't want to play with and be out of the game for a year. So it's just it's just something that I'm seeing a lot this year, hearing a lot of people talking about. And there's all guys that we all know somebody that's tagged D Elite that you're like, so you count as one of those three, spots, almost like a C chip, being like, you're a C chip, so same kind of thing. But anyway, speaking of winning things and being bumped and bringing home championships, we had a pretty big thing happen this weekend that was a little quiet.
And no, we were not staying at the Days Inn or the Best Western.
No, Holiday Inn only.
Yeah, this is a strange website.
Yeah, it was tough to navigate.
So bravo to you, Coco, for finding this.
That was a deep dive.
This is some good, yeah.
So what is this? Why isn't this on the U-Trip site?
Because it's USA.
This is not U-Trip.
So it's senior. So we're talking about the Fat Chops. The Fat Chops. Let me just get the full team.
4 season. You can't read this? Do I need to? Let's get it bigger.
He's part of that. He's part of that age group. You need his glasses, his readers.
Fat Chops 4 seasons out of Worcester. Went down and won the men's 50-plus AAA division down in Florida, which is a tournament of champions. And I'm trying to pull up the message here real quick, but I believe you're only playing in this tournament if you've won a large event.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at when they were posted. When Fat Chops posted was about, you have to be a champion in one of the bigger tournaments to even be included in this tournament, which is that's great.
That's awesome. I think there were 14 in their division, so I feel like that's a good number for, like, you're probably pooling teams from all over the place that are winning those big tournaments. I like that idea. That does go back to if this is ASA USA. Is that
it's USA okay. Is how I'm looking at it. That's why
I
it
feel
wasn't
like
on the
that's
U-Trip.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of how that was, more so than you get a million teams at a world tournament.
Right, because for USA, you go to Virginia or Ohio, and the winners of those are the top 2-3 teams. Then they get invited to the big tournament, right?
Yeah. I mean, as far as like E and D teams, like you were only seeing like state teams or league teams almost. You know what I mean?
Well, you used to have to win.
There was E.
You used to have to win the New Hampshire tournament to even go to the regional, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And then, or you could get. Yeah, I suppose you could
much
request
smaller
to go.
Much smaller number of teams let in.
Yeah.
Well, so listen to this. So Fat Chops goes 0-2 in pool play, and then just runs, not runs, but just works their way, grinds the way through the bracket. They won.
Thank you.
What?
Thank you. They didn't grind. I mean, they grind their way through the bracket.
Grinded. Yeah. And they won every game by 2. They lost the championship game and then won the IF game by 2. Like, that's tough. That is
Yeah.
tough, man.
Okay. So yes, they did grind through the bracket, but they went 0-2 in pool because pool doesn't matter at all.
Pool doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Pool doesn't matter. Like I'll
Right.
say it. I'll get on it.
I
Now, in
and I
some
love
situations, it
it.
does, but
And
like
I
pool
lo-
doesn't matter.
Right. But I love it. I love that they have 2 pool games before, I'm assuming, a double elimination tournament.
Yep.
Love that. Love that. Maybe I should start playing senior.
Well, you had 3 teams go 2-0. 2 teams went 1-1, 0-2, obviously, and then 1-1. And Fat Chops started off by playing the team from, let's see here. Sorry about it, Nevada, Damage Nevada, who was 0-2. And then they moved in to play. They played Big Hurt, who was the number 3 seed, and they beat them by 2 runs. And then the Damage Nevada, who went 0-2. So it was 2 0-2 teams in pool play facing off in the second round game. Like pool play doesn't mean shit. It's to get you warmed up. It's to get you feeling good.
Especially in the senior game where a lot of these guys really gotta get going.
Easy.
All I know is Tony. Tony's always a good second bucket guy.
As
But,
we're looking at it, sorry,
Yeah,
just
go
we're
ahead.
talking about where these teams are coming from, and we're talking about like, oh, you have to, but then there's 2 teams for Massachusetts in the top 3, so I have no idea where these tournaments are. Magic softball.
Well,
making
so
an
here's
appearance.
so you had to win a qualifier or a world title from the year before to be invited. That's unbelievable. So Derek Therian, appreciate you sending this in and giving us a little insight. Next time you got a huge tournament like this, let us know. We'll cover it. And here's what I thanks to the message in the Bring It hotline here. 60 plus from New York finished second in the Tournament of Champions in Florida this weekend as well.
That's
Nice
good.
job.
That's
Nice job from the Northeast with
Yeah.
a lot of good things happening with softball in the Northeast. You got the men's C second place in the Challenge Cup and in the Worlds, and then we're getting some great. The senior ball is doing well. We've got some umpires growing the ranks. Got
Women's teams
Wally-
doing well.
Yeah, Wally went in. Then you got the women's team doing good things. I tell you what, our women's program up here, it just continues to amaze me with how much it's growing and how much support it gets, and what Hickey and Lori do to continue that game, to be doing some great things for. I tell you, that All-Star Classic was still fucking awesome.
That was fun, wasn't it?
Oh, so much fun. But yeah, no. So that was it's. There's a lot of good things going on right now, and I got to tell you, off the bench. Whew, they do a monthly show in the off season. Next year, maybe we go every other week.
Maybe we
Next year.
I mean, we almost did that. We did like impromptu nights off.
Yeah.
Basically,
Here and there.
if J-Ro goes away, we
J-Ro's-
take the week
Carol
off.
wasn't in. I'm like in the off season, like yeah, it's gonna be a 5-minute show.
So I mean,
Maybe
we
10
got.
minutes. No,
Well,
Hayes, you'll keep me
you'll
going.
be good. Yeah, you guys are.
Yeah,
good.
We'd be
right.
fine.
Just send me a link to a website. You won't hear from me until the show's over.
So we're sitting
Uh.
at February 6th. So we're looking. I mean, we're 5 weeks away from the Mojo.
Oh my
you know,
god.
It's crazy. Like we're rapidly approaching. That's 4 more episodes. We're gonna have some guests coming up here in the next month, and yeah. So that trout video. So I was at the indoor golf simulators, and I saw the face of the woman on TikTok, and they're like the trout video, and I read the comments, and people are like, "No, you don't watch this." I'm giving you guys a heads up if you don't want to listen anymore. Get out of here. It's this Australian couple that was out fishing on their boat, and it pans down to a beautiful lake trout in the woman's vagina, and he's using it as a dildo on her. It is just the weirdest, craziest thing I've ever seen. And you're talking about me. I've seen some shit. Like 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Yeah, I know that's fake. The guy on efuck.com back in the day when he was sitting on the jar, seen that. This trout thing, like those were disturbing. This trout thing was just weird. And I'm not one to kink shame.
This thing was just weird.
So go YouTube that, or not YouTube. Go Google that.
It's beyond YouTube. It's beyond the safety of YouTube.
Go get on Reddit.
Trout-
Go get on
Trout
Reddit.
for clout. I'm finding it.
That's
Oh,
what it's called.
Jesus.
Trout.
We'll watch it when
Trout
we're
for
off
clout.
the air, I'm sure.
So, all
Yeah,
right.
so
Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to bring this up earlier.
Let's go.
Did you guys see the menu?
No, it's on my to-do list.
Oh no!
Okay, watch it.
I heard
and
it
we'll
was
talk about
very
it
good.
after. We'll watch it and we'll talk about it.
What's
later.
it on?
The fuck is it
HBO
on?
Max, I think.
Is it
I think
HBO?
HBO Max has it.
All right. Cool. So can we? I'll put it on our calendar to watch it in 2043.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in 3 years.
And with that, we'll see everybody next week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for Stuff Peppers. Thanks for joining us. Go follow us on all our social media. Watch us live on YouTube. Call into the hotline. Text us at the hotline. We'll take care of it, and we'll see you guys soon.
See you guys.
See ya.